I knew it, I knew it, I knew it. That incompetent rock hound has got one that has got a perfect floating fortification, and it looks like there is no fractures, and there's a complete float in the quartz. I knew it, I knew it, I knew it, I knew it. Gosh, dang it. Now on the evolution here, we're kind of going through our pick that we decided to get it out and look at this stuff, and I could have swore I had a few more pieces of that nice agatized wood. You can see it's there. This was just subterranean, but you can see it protruding out of that. That's basically what that is right there. 'Cause remember, on the last episode, we worked hard, but I had a nice little strike towards the end, and we did find some nice material of the blue that's on that episode right there. And gosh, oh no, he's got a lot of nice little blues, and he's got him a banded calcite, and he has some agatized float. He was holding out on me. That's a big old chunk of agatized wood. He held out on me. The son of a gun. Kind of looks like something I had, but wasn't in my bag. So, possession is 9/10 of the law. So it's in his satchel. It makes his satchel kind of a nice little gathering for the day. Mine looks like it's been gut shot a little. I have no clue what in the world, but that sucker, he keeps secrets. The incompetent rock hound. Old G. So you are ready for another day? Here she comes. Thank you. Well, we're working along. And by gosh, you might not know exactly where we're going, but we are not backtracking, but we have a target. And on that episode, right there, we dang near pushed it too hard. Ran out of water. Oh my gosh, we was tired. Spent, that's what we call it. But we're not backtracking. We're making a circle. It's hot as a pistol. We actually really tore it up last night, as far as not anything that everybody's thinking about, but no, it was ran out of water, everything. We had plenty of water at the machinery, but on hand we had no water, and it's been relatively eventless. Gosh dang it! Well, we're looking. We'll see just what in the world we can come up with. Now, this is what's tough on me. Remember, I'm evolving. But this has got a lot of a maroon violet, some sort of a sedimentary looking material. Okay. I see fractures and stuff like that, but I'm not going to pick that up. But I've been seeing quite a bit of it. And we're on the outskirts of something. And that's my greatest fear, is I actually don't really identify something that is very rare. But I'm trying to remember, make notes of places where I've seen certain things that I chose not to gather. so I can come back at a later date, if I've evolved far enough to realize that that was actually quite a find. Now in this area, actually most of southeast Idaho, for the last few years, we actually had an explosion of metal voles. Microtus family that is like the lemmings and things, metal voles. Well, what happened is our upland game bird populations were just coming up. We couldn't walk around doing this without having a ton of actual seeing the voles running around. Well, they were eating even the bases of the sagebrush. Okay? And I didn't think you could kill sagebrush, but they actually did kill quite a bit of the sagebrush. Well, since then, last fall, I seen it. I couldn't keep little Jackie from eating all the carcasses. Well, now you walk around and you don't see even one moving around. The reason why the birds came up in population, they call it a predator swamping. And it's interesting, but if you think about it, there was so many meadow voles that they didn't have the predators, the hawks, the owls, coyotes, didn't have to try to look for the nesting birds and try to. So I'm sure they reproduce like crazy, the predators. Well, now all of a sudden the main, basically eggs and potatoes of their diet is gone. And I'm so afraid in this area that we're actually going to experience the true swamping, which is the predators are such high numbers. They had it so easy for several years. All of a sudden they decimate the upland game bird population and everything else. And it's basically, they call it a predator-prey relationship, R adaptive, K adaptive individuals, and it goes through cycles. But guess what? A human life can't make it through very many of them cycles before you've seen the other side. So now for you individuals who've been watching the evolution, have you figured out the, I don't know if you would call it a riddle, but we are at that episode right there. We are at Winston's Thunder Egg deposit, and as you can see, here's a little pile of thunder eggs that's going on. And I truly believe that there was a geyser of some kind, stink pot. I think that's what makes these the way they are. They're not a nodule. It was like matrices piled up, it's like layers of material. And you can see just how nice and big that is. But you can see the calcinium popping around if you look at it real close. See it right on towards the tip there. And I really didn't know what to expect until I cut some of these. And my mind was blown. So that's what we are doing. We're going to be cutting some thunder eggs and searching for some of these beautiful thunder eggs. And what a day. Now these are so difficult, but you just kind of key your eyes in on what they look like. And I just didn't have too much faith in them until I really started to cut them, prospecting by saw. But you can see, there's one there. There's another one sitting right there. But then we have one that is a little more obvious. You can see this. Now look at what the outside looks like on this. Okay? No eventful whatsoever, but then look where it's broke. You can see, but look at the outside. It really doesn't look like a nodule. This one is more of a giveaway than these ones over here. But let's see what this one is. Okay, that's what it's looking like. But look what's in the center. Isn't that something? I think these are the sneakiest things that I've ever encountered. And a lot of people like thunder eggs. And I know that's what I would call these, is thunder eggs. So there was a geyser, a hot pot, something thermal was just going like crazy in this one area. Easy come, easy go. I do the best I can to show us what we're looking for, because I'm sure there's other places in the Challis Volcanics that has that. Now look at old G. He's up on high perch. Old G. He's putting a thumbnail together. He was a pointing. Holy Toledo. Gosh dang it!
Well, this kind of caught my eye. Got this little piece sticking out of the rock. Unfortunately, I was kind of hyper focused on that, but I looked right over here, and what do we have here? Wow. Went from the incompetent rock hunter to liberating some good stuff off the hill. That might be a pretty one. It's got some greens and different things in it. I have to see what happens when my bud puts it on the saw, but that's kind of a cool piece. But
now I like old Gene Old, but he says he's the incompetent Rock Hound. There he is right there. Well, he was up there, and this is what happens when the term is try to liberate a nice little nodule out of it. Look how pretty olive that is. It's really pretty. It's almost like an opal. Huh. Well, I can polish him up, but you liberated the shaster out of it. But that no good. He come up and look at what he has found. He found the most wonderful hybrid thunder egg / nodule. I'm really curious to see what's inside that. Because that right there, this is his little pile that he's kind of developing here. And there's old Gene Old's envious agate that he found. We'll be cutting that. And you can see that it is kind of a hybrid. It's got a lot of matrix around it. We'll see what in the world's in this thing, because I'm envious of that. That was a good pick by the incompetent Rock Hound. Nice, very nice. I knew it. That incompetent Rock Hound has got one that has got a perfect floating fortification. And there is no fractures, and there's a complete float in the quartz. I knew it. Look at that beauty. That beauty is absolutely stunning. With that floating fortification with no fractures. You know how hard that is? Look at the pseudomorphs coming from the ceiling. And then the water banding with the little bit of matrix in the below. What a beautiful, beautiful nodule I found. It wasn't old G. It wasn't. No. All I can do is, I seen it. I wish I would have found it. But old G, he needed a confidence booster, and he got it. What a beautiful, beautiful stone. But yeah, he's not too good for liberating and all. Gosh dang it! So anyway, but he always seems to find one that just makes me envy him. Now in the world is an incompetent rock hound find things. Look at this nice little display. It's almost like finding the missing link. It shows the It just has just enough matrix on that nice large nodule there that it actually makes it a nice display. Gosh, dang it! Anyway, I think he's old G Noel. He's short stroking himself, but I'm still wondering about that big nice piece of agatized wood you got. Well, we're still mealing around, and old G, he just disappears, aka the incompetent Rock Hound. And he's got another pile of satchel here. He says if he finds it, he picks it up. So he's making him a cache. Gosh, I didn't make that dang nodule of his disappear. All right, what he's doing is he thinks I'm competent. So he's making me make decisions here for him. And he's got all sorts of stuff rumbled around. Now, I did see one pop up that caught my eye right out of the gate. Just like on Every Which Way But Loose. Never met somebody that I had an attraction to right out of the gate like you. It's that one there. He has found himself another nice thunder egg nodule. Well, there's another one by the incompetent Rock Hound. Pretty good sized. He's going to be greedy gutting on old Covington Sr. The way this looks. Gosh dang, the incompetent Rock Hound. He was on fire on that second day. He was totally redeeming himself, and he got caught stealing that big piece of agatized wood that I personally found in that video right there. But it seemed to find his way into his bag early morning light. He was smart enough not to take it from me before I got it down to the machinery.
You never know when you're going to find a pile of rocks right in front of you. The evolution's down there somewhere. I think I could probably cheat a little bit, because if you're not cheating, you're not
before
trying.
I got it down to the machinery. He's clever. He's sharp as a fox. Be scared of those guys. There's the other one of the incompetent Rock Hound. Old G, the incompetent Rock Hound, is hitting home runs, and I'm hitting home runs on predicting them. Woo! Here's old G's pair. Absolutely beautiful. It has the one flaw, or it could have ranked into the top 10 that I've ever cut. And that flaw is that one fracture. And it doesn't look like I can get rid of it. Oh, it's so hard. Mother Nature is so brutal on these. It's the reason why they're quite rare. When you find one, like that last one, old G, that does not have a fracture. This would be absolutely beautiful if that thing would have actually not had that fracture. It's still a stellar thunder egg nodule. It's not as nice as that one, but it could cut. But you can see the trace of Cassinian in these little tiny windows. You can see what the end looks like. So that is what I seen was the nicest that popped out of his bag. Those are wonderful little displayers for people. And like I said, it's a treasure to you if you've never found it before. This is a broken nodule, more or less a quartz bomb. This one here is kind of odd. It looks like it's a broken nodule. It's got some, so I would probably have to say that she just was broke and then she's been eroded. So not a whole lot. Again, those are really pretty. for a person that's never found such things. It's a nice little display. This here, to me, it feels like it is a conglomerate, but not a thunder egg. It has a chance, but there's an awful lot of fractures looking at this. Don't quite have the look. I think it's just a conglomerate of minerals right there, but I don't think it's an actual one of the eggs itself. It's similar to this one that he's got over here in his pile I'll bring over. See, this one here, it's got a really neat window right here. How it's come up, and it's kind of like that when he liberated these little nodules. It's the same material. It's like an opal. It's sitting right there. But I don't think that it goes anywhere. He's got a lot of matrix with a little bit of mixed in mineralization, but damn, no, he did find another one that I think is a really good one there. Like I said, treasures are in the eyes of the beholder. And as you progress through time, maybe you always love a certain thing, even though it's relatively common. That's just the way it is. So keep on evolving with us. Old G's back on the top. Don't liberate yourself from the planet, bud.
Captain's a fact.
Don't liberate. Gosh dang it. All right, well, old G Noel / the incompetent Rock Hound. Boy, oh boy, just your brightness of your TV if that head is a little too shiny. He's decided he's had enough of nodular, and he remembers where he had found some really nice float on that episode right there. So anyway, you know what he's going to do? He wants a little more peace and quiet, and he's just going to leave me take a little, his best material that he's found. Too bad I high-graded them big nodulars out of his pile already. By gosh, I might. But you know what? When you high grade, you do it after the guy's got it down. You don't high grade, and you don't premature high grade. It's that thing is premature high grading. He's about ready to head on off, but if you see something, there's something familiar. If you notice, wood. He's got that same bug that I caught. I just wanted to find petrified agatized wood. For some reason, it was something that you knew was alive at one time, and it got mimicked and fossilized. So it feels like you've captured the past more with the wood than you are truly with the agatized mineral material, and it draws you into it because you start, well, he remembered, and remember, I don't know why he wants such a nice, I mean, he picked up a great big one the way it looked when we was looking at his stash that he got the last episode. But he's hungry. Or maybe I better reanalyze that. But anyway, so he's after that wood. Me, I've kind of had my appetite on that. And the thunder eggs are more, that's just how it is. It's in the eyes of the beholder. So good luck to you, bud. I'm going to cry as you head down the hill with separation anxiety. Gosh dang it! Well, hope you're having fun here. I got separation anxiety. Old Noel, he took off. It's just kind of like the children heading out to college. Oh, the empty nest. Anyway, he's at peace. So I admire him. He's a good old boy. He's a good bud. So we're continuing on here, and I'll flip this around, and we'll just do a little hunting together. So I am down here, I'm working my way around, and said it's just this area. Most of the time, I'd be very leery of one of these type nodules because it would just be nothing but a plain calcinium on the inside. Well, I have found over and over again that inside there is usually a nice pretty jersey pocket, banding, all sorts of interesting little things. You can see it kind of in those windows. They are different. When something's different, you have to basically respect that. So I started picking up some of the smaller pieces. See, so here's one right here. As you can see, how that is mostly a nodule, but look at the pretty banding. They're very pretty nodules in this one deposit. Now I'm going to be occupying Cummington Jr. here. So this is one of those wild thunder eggs that it's got this big chunk of matrix that's spining off of that. And I want to try to cut and leave that. I don't want to break it off of it. We can always do that at a later date. But let's see if we can find a displayer. Not just jewelry, but a nice display. And there is the little thunder egg. So yeah, it doesn't have a fracture. But dang it, it really doesn't have a ton of character either. But the matrix is really fused in that. I know we're going to have some beauties in there. There it is. In this one deposit. And there's a lot. And you know, you look and you walk past somewhere and then all of a sudden you look back. Well, I believe this is one. Oh! Nope. It is, but it's not. You got a lot of matrix on it. So you can see right there. So now this one is a little guy. So what I'm going to try to do is there won't be a whole lot of display on that. So I'm going to choose a side and we'll just trim it because potentially to try to get a kind of a, remember, on the evolution we're going to endeavor to get to what an indigenous individual actually could make. Cummington Senior's a humming away on old Gene, old incompetent Rockhound's spine. But you can see how with that Mitchell vise, how much control I have on that piece right there. Let's see what we're going to have. Now this was the jewelry. So let's see what it looks like. Gosh darn it! The glare off of it. It's trying to be what I want it to be. Well, that's a vicious. I like natural light the best, but we ran out of time on this, so sometimes we just have to deal with what we've been dealt. And here's this. Matrix is firm, but yet it just doesn't hold together. Not pretty enough. Don't know. One wasn't. So we're sitting here and said, we're going through. But I do believe we have run out of time. Thank you very much.